Hello there, beautiful people. My name is Ebony Essence, and that's for the people that have never seen this face before. It's everybody that is returning. Hey, what's up? How's everybody doing? Come on in. And yes, you're seeing this looking in because your girl has to get some of these videos out the way. I hope you still love me all the same. So, Misty asked me, was I going to do like a book review? And at first I was like, well, you know what? I can do one for the YouTube channel. I do have my Ebony Essence Bookshelf on Instagram, and on my main TikTok page, I talk about these books as well. Child, let me get right. God, no. You're right. I'm feeling all out of way. Anyways, so I'll leave all that stuff in the description box down below. So before we get started, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And give me some of your reads down below, or if you read some of the books I'm about to mention, let me know what your thoughts are. All right, so we're gonna try to get through this. Okay, we're gonna try to get through this. So the first one, The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson. Love this book. 5 stars. Maddie is the main character. She's passing off as a white girl in college. In high school. This is like the black version of Carrie. You don't know where her mom is. Her dad is trying to keep up this image, and it's like, it has to do with some town down here in Georgia where, you know, it was like black people live on this side, white people live on this side. But then now, you know, black people, they come into money, they kind of move to the quote unquote good side, which is the white side. And like I said, she's just been passing off as a white girl. Her dad, if you ever watch Carrie, like he has this closet for her with white women in there with blue eyes and blonde hair. And one day she just didn't check the weather as often as she was supposed to in gym, and she got caught. She had this big fro, and people were like, oh, I knew she was black. These girls treated her bad. A video got posted, and child, it just went down. Like, it's crazy how the blackface that they did in there is like, people are still doing blackface nowadays. And it's just like, why? Why do y'all hate us so bad? You know, but also with her trying to find her identity, and it just, listen, when you find out her powers and where they come from, and then also the way the dad be talking to her and do her, child, I remember I'm gonna just say this, and I'm about to end this and keep going. I always used to tell my mom, Lord rest her soul, and Lord knows I love her. I love her so much. I miss her so much. But I used to tell my mom, as time changes, okay, so do you. Not saying like you got to change drastically, but I'm just saying, like, you know, with the new electronics and stuff like that or whatever, ain't nothing wrong with you sticking your old ways and living your old shows and stuff like that. But sometimes as the world changes, if you're not mentally going to evolve somewhat, then you're just never going to see the world for what it truly is. And that's what her dad kind of reminded me of too. But listen, when she set it off on them people, I said, do that, Maddie. Do that. Let they ass have it, Maddie. Let they ass have it, Maddie. I love this book. I will read it again. All right, so it ends with us by Colleen Hoover. This one I gave a 5 out of 5. I enjoyed this book. It should come with a trigger warning because it does deal with some abuse. And me being around my fair share and dealing with my own, I can see how this would definitely be triggering for some people, to where they might have to put the book down and maybe never pick it up again. But dealing with, like, okay, so you have Lily and Atlas, known each other since they were kids. Atlas was, you know, homeless. He slept in the abandoned house next to Lily's house. Lily had to deal with her father abusing her mother. And, you know, well, Atlas wound up, you know, moving away or whatever. And when Lily finally got her own boo, as you know, in adulthood, sometimes us as, it doesn't, man or woman, but definitely us as ladies, sometimes we will make excuses and we will give somebody, the benefit of the doubt. And when you do it once, sometimes you do it 3, 4, 10 more times. And it's sad because then she got in a relationship with a man that abused her. He did it, one time, and he said he's not gonna do it again. But luckily for her, by the 3rd time he did it, mama was out. Mama was out. And one thing I admire about my sister Brittany is that a lot of times you got one time to mess with her. If she gives you another chance, you better take that chance and run with it like the wind, baby. Okay, and thank God. Because my sister Brittany, usually you got one chance with her. Friend, family, it don't matter. You usually got one chance with her. She can be around you and be cordial, but usually you get one chance with her and you are out of there, okay? But this book was so good, and it's like, it just made me cry, man. It made me cry. It has a happy ending, but honey, what did? Do y'all see that? Okay, I don't know what that was, but I love this book. Then the follow-up is It Starts With Us. This one I think I give like a 4 out of 5. It was good. It kind of like jumped around a bit. I don't know if it was rushed, but this was good. Yeah, I'll give it a 4. And I do have a Goodreads page. But yeah, I'm glad that Lily and Atlas finally got together. Of course, I'm not going to try to give y'all everything because I want y'all to read it and see for yourself, but I'm giving y'all as much as I can or I think I should give. And I love how, I can't think of because Lily wound up having that's his name, Rao. Rao was the one that abused her in the first book, and they wound up having a child together. And I love how Rao's sister and his brother-in-law stuck with Lily. They didn't give him no passes. I love how everybody was holding this sucker accountable. And I love that Lily and Atlas wound up ending up together because you could just see that's where it was supposed to go. But yeah. All right. Court of the Vampire Queen. Baby, I give this book like a 4.5 out of 5. Probably mainly so because of the spice in this thing. Baby. Come on now with the damn shit. It don't have much of a plot. Like, it's about her trying to take over her father's empire. But baby, the spice in here. Her and these 3 dudes. Get your hands, get your toys ready, get your man, get your woman ready. This book, this thing thick, baby. And I read this thing down. You hear me? Down. I can't wait to go. I think I'm gonna go get the other hard copies because this wasn't a part of a series, but like the Neon God and some other books are like part of a series. Baby, I think I'm gonna get the hard copies. So, all right, give me just a moment to pull up my Goodreads account. So, where my books at? Let's turn it like this. So, Say You Swear by Megan Brady. I think I put a 4 on here. Yeah, 3.5, 4 stars. It was okay. To me personally, I feel like it didn't need that many pages, and I feel like some of the characters were not needed. That's just me personally, okay? Overall, this was a good book. Now, Noah Riley, he is a 5 out of 5, baby. He is a 5 out of 5. This my kind of man. This my kind of, like, Noah is such a sweet, genuine soul. And even though he's the captain of the football team, you would think he would be cocky as all hell. But he is just the sweetest. Like, takes his time His mama is sick. When people think he out here doing this, that, and the third, he is over there visiting his mama, taking care of his mama at the nursing home. But let me tell you, when what's the girl name in here? I can't think of her dang on name. The main character, child. But look, girl and gentlemen, I cannot think of the main character name, the girl name right now. But honey, when she had this accident, and Chase, which is a childhood friend that they grew up with, which is also her brother's best friend, when she had this accident and he felt like this was his time to shine, if y'all read this or if y'all have already read this, y'all know what I mean. I want to whoop Chase's ass. Now you want to step up? Now you want to love on her? You done known this girl for how many years? Now you don't want to care what her brothers say or think? Get the fuck out of here. Got to go. So I enjoy that. Like I said, it's good. I just think it's too many pages. Some stuff could have been left out. That's just me. Reminders of Him. I listened to this book on Kindle, on the Kindle app. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I love listening to this because they had a male voice and a female's voice. This story was so good. And I think I give it 4 out of 5 because not everybody would end up with their lovers or, dead lover's best friend in some cases. And then some people would still hold grudges. I mean, even though this is a fiction book, a lot of this stuff like in like this book and some of these other books really be happening in real life. This is one of them things where she made a mistake, or it looks like she made a mistake. And people like to hold things against people. Like, the past is the past for a reason. But I will say this, if you see somebody trying to do better, then why are you holding their past against them? They don't live there no more. They are not trying to live there no more. They're trying to do better. This is also one of them books where you need to look at the story from everybody's point of view. And if you don't know something, ask. Have that hard conversation. Because what you thought it was is probably not what it really is. But how would you know if you do not ask? Okay? And I'm glad this book ended so well. Such a good book. Tangled in Tinsel. Let me go ahead. Tangled in Tinsel. 5 out of 5. Baby, if you ain't read this, what is you doing? Okay? Baby, spice through the roof. Spice out of here. Get your fingers ready, get your toys ready, get your man ready, get your woman ready. Spice out the roof. Yeah. I mean, Poochie, she did that. She wrote that. Them men set her up. Them 4 dudes, they set her up. It was snowing. She was supposed to be decorating the house for this party, but it was snowing so hard that they got snowed in for like the whole weekend or whatever. We're down there with 4 or 5 days. But the thing is, they already had wanted a piece of her, okay? Baby, when she told Jace that she want him to eat that cat while Alec watches, and then when Reed had picked her up, Reed was standing up and picked her up and ate that cat while he was standing up. And then when Cole was telling her to be a good girl and say please, just read it. Read it. Next one, the Quarry Girls. This is based off of a true story. I think I gave this 3.5. Well, 4. I can give 4 out of 5. Y'all see the stars. The only thing is, the reason I did that because I felt like, once again, some flashbacks were not needed. Like, we already could pick up what kind of character that girl is. So, excuse me. So we really didn't need that. But it is a shame that to this day you cannot trust law enforcement the way that you want to. It is a shame that you cannot trust the men that you were raised by or that are family like you want to. And like, even though, I mean, my dad, I know my dad's a great guy. I know my cousins and the uncles that I fucks with are good guys, okay? But the way that shit was coming to light in this thing, man, it's just crazy how you think that you, and even with friends, you think that you can trust them, and the way that they would just do you dirty, like you meant nothing. Nothing. No matter if you want to explore your sexuality or whatever, that doesn't mean you should end up dead for it, you know? And especially when this one character was trying to prey on the main character's little sister, and it's like, little girls, I understand this. We want to be grown. We want to be seen as, you know, that girl. But baby, when I tell you, be a child, be aware of your surroundings. It's crazy that you have to do this with kids. Be aware of your surroundings. Don't be scared to report anything to your parents or to anybody that you trust. Keep saying it until somebody hears you, okay? Because I know this little girl wanted to be, thankfully nothing happened to her, but it's just, oh my gosh. And in this story also how one girl was kidnapped, and it's just like, I can only imagine. Hopefully I never find out, but what it's like to never know, to not know if you're ever going to return home, but to know that you're not going to give up a fight. But I'm telling you, the main character, her dad, I was like, I fucking knew it. The policeman, I was like, I fucking knew it. I knew it. Y'all, some dirty dog. And then the fact that her dad tried to justify what he did. To hell with you, sir. To hell with you. And when I mean this, with anybody that are like any of these nasty demon characters in this book, to hell with them. On to the next. Never Meant to Meet You. 5 out of 5. I love this. It's not a spicy book, but it is a great freaking book. It's told through the eyes of this lady named Marjette. She's a black woman. She has another friend. I can't think. What's her friend name? I don't forgot her friend name now. I don't forgot her friend name. But, you know, she, Judy. That's her name, Judy. So Marjette and her man had moved out to Cali because he wanted to be in, like, the plastic surgery world or whatever. And she loved kids. They wound up bringing a third friend in named Noah, which Noah lived next door to Marjette. But this gives off that, like that bitter baby mama vibes and stuff. One thing I do admire about Marjette, when her man said that he'd been cheating on her and that he was gonna leave, that he was leaving her for another woman, she ain't beg, bought, or plead, or none of that. She let him go. But she let him know, like, you know, the divorce thing, that I think she got alimony, she got the house and all this stuff. But she did not sit there and cry. Well, at least to him, she let him go. And I was like, that's a strong motherfucking woman. But this also is one of the things where communication is key. Like, you and your partner have to constantly communicate about everything when your feelings change about something, because they had a plan, but the plan didn't stick around. And if they would have been communicating throughout their relationship, Marjette probably could have been saved a long time ago from this BS. And then also the fact that after her and her husband, you know, got divorced, it's been 6 years since she had anybody in that twat, okay? And it's one of the things where she's trying to hang on to her son, like, as her almost significant other. And I understand she don't want to be hurt again, but it's like, girl, I feel you, but at some point you got to move on, because your ex-husband, he been moved on, okay? He been moved on. And this friend group was, I mean, just awesome. It's like one of the friend groups that you want to have from when you were younger until like growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like grow old with them. I love how they were just always there for each other. This is such a good book. Okay, I gotta read their other one, but it is such a good book. Yeah, I'm trying to get on through this. Okay, 'tis the season for revenge. 5 out of 5. 5 out of fucking 5. Spice through the roof. But besides the spice, the story, like, I've been through some things where I let people, even if I did speak up, I've been through some things where I let people treat me any kind of way. And I'm like, well, Ebony, what was the point of you speaking up if you wasn't gonna do nothing about it? And also in this girl's case, the man, what's her name? Abby. She kind of just, like the red flags was there, but she just wanted to be a wife so bad. And this man was a lawyer and all this stuff. She got caught up in that. Like, don't get caught up in wanting to be somebody's wife. Like, I want to be, if anything, your life partner, your soulmate, your best friend, whether we have a piece of paper or not. But she was so caught up in that she just missed it. But honey, the way that Richard talked to her, I wanted to stump a mud hole in his ass. Cause how dare you? But then, you know, she started getting her life back. Her and her friends were plotting revenge. She went on this dating app and she never been to Richard's to any of the office events, right? So nobody knew who she was. So she came across what's his name, child? Damon Martinez on this app, on a dating app, and when they met up, she was like, okay, that's it. I'm gonna F his boss, and that's how I'm gonna get him back. Whatever another way she planned on getting him back. But child, when her and Damien went on a date, they were just saying like, you know, it just is what it is, nothing serious. But it turned into something serious, and she was like, she wanted to tell him everything, but one of her friends, child, she got her own issues with me and was like, no, don't tell him. Why would you do that? This, that, and the third. And it was like, girl, because she really liked this man. And you could tell that he really liked her. Sometimes he had to remind her, like, of her confidence. Like, she's beautiful. That man, he was loving him some Abby, okay? And child, the sex, through the roof. Honey, but when shit went down at that holiday party, baby, you want to talk about revenge? They did it. 5 out of 5. Go ahead and read it if you haven't. So let's see. Before I start talking about these other ones, Icebreaker, another 5 out of 5. Baby, the spice in here was so good, but also the story, you know, has to do with they're in college, they're ice skater. One's ice skater, one does hockey. Honey, what's the name of his? So you got Anastasia, they call her Stasi, and then you got Nate, short for Nathaniel. Honey, when Nate was playing with that kitty cat in the back of that Uber with a car full of people, and she had to be quiet. Do that, daddy. Okay. Listen, I love this book. Stasia dealt with a lot, especially with her skating partner, man. You could see that he was a snake in the grass. It took her some time to see it, but I'm glad she's seen it. I also love how the hockey players that grew close with her protected her like a sister. Because let me tell you, some friends will run back and tell you, oh, so-and-so was talking about you, this, that, and the third. And it's like, okay, well, what did you do? What did you say? You know what I'm saying? Why did you come back telling me this? They didn't do that. When somebody was talking about her, they handled that shit right then and there. But she didn't know nothing about it until, you know, towards the end of the book. And I really appreciated how they protected her from all that BS and they dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? But this is a damn good book. Another happy ending. Like, I think this might be a part 1. But even if it's not another part, I love it. The Bookstore Sisters, a short read. I gave it a 5 out of 5. You know, about 2 sisters on this small town, a small island. One moves away. The other one that stayed behind is upset because she was like, we made a promise to Dad that we would stay here and keep this bookstore open. And I understand, you know, people make promises, but at the same time, people need to go out and explore. It's nothing going out and seeing what the world has to offer you, okay? The sister did wind up coming back. You know, she was doing well for herself, but you know, everything that glitters and glistens and gold and stuff ain't always good for you, okay? But she found her way back, even though her sister was mad at her. It's cute. It's cute how she found her way back. You know, everything happens for a reason. It's a short read, but it's a good read to the point, and I enjoyed it. Did I listen to it or did I read it? I think this was one that I listened to on Kindle. This is another one I listened to, Beautiful Graves. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Child, what's a damn name? What's a damn girl name? Child, Everlyn. Guarantee there are people out here that actually have self-esteem issues or extreme introverts that don't really speak up for themselves about what they want or whatever. Honey, Evelyn has a best friend that she's like outgoing. They're like polar opposites. But Evelyn goes on this trip. She meets, it's like love at first sight kind of thing. And they were supposed to keep, her and this dude supposed to keep in contact when, you know, going back to the States, and they kind of did, but then things fell off. Something happened at home. Like I said, I'm not going to tell y'all everything. Something happened at home, and she wound up moving. She was on the West Coast. She wound up moving to Boston. Boston is where the dude resided. You know, eventually that's where he was going back to once he left from overseas. And she kind of went out there because she wanted to see what Boston was like, but we know she went out there to try to find him as well. Honey, she wound up getting with this dude, and even though he seemed like a perfect dude and all this stuff, he just, you could tell, like, he loved her, but he didn't really, like, love her, because you would find out what she likes, what she's interested in, blase, blase. Now, going all the way down to it, come to find out the man she with now is the brother to the man that she fell in love with overseas, child. And it's like, girl, why are you still with this man if you know, like, you like him, but because he's a safe choice? I mean, he love you, but he doesn't know your interests like that, like, you know. And of course, something happens with him, so it brings her and her love at first sight back together. But when I tell you, Evelyn, I was like, girl, she had me on that talking about, you dumb bitch, get it together. All right, y'all, we working on 30 minutes here, but we about to wind it on down. So, Melinda Lee and Kendra Elliott, I'm just gonna show y'all, but it's called The Widow's Island, if y'all can see that up there. It's 10 books in this series. I think overall I would give it like a 4.5 out of 5. Love these books. They're short reads, short listens. Every book is dealing with a murder, but as you know that progresses, you got the main characters was like Tessa Black and Cat Wild. One is an FBI agent. She moved back to the island because she had an injury. The other one is a sheriff or a deputy, whatever, at the island. So they both went into law enforcement. You see their love stories develop at the same time they're trying to find their friend Samantha that went missing 20 years ago. And honey, when that book comes along, oh my God, she was getting real. But I love each story because I love mystery, thriller, you know, stuff like that. I love how each book was dealing with a different murder. Like I said, you trying to figure out who did it. It's like you think you know who did it, but then damn, they did it. So I enjoyed each and every one of these. They could definitely be standalone books, you know. But the fact that it was a series and it kept going, bomb. Now, the next ones, okay. So I'm trying to see. So you have Rogue River. The Rogue River, right? Y'all can see there at the top. It has 4 books in it. 4 books in that series. The next one is Rogue Winter. Y'all can see that up there. All of these I listened to on Kindle. This Rogue Winter has 2 books in it. You have Rogue Vows, has 2 books in it as well. And yeah, and then Rogue Justice has 2 books in it as well. So you want to read them in that order. This has to deal with like a family of 4. It has to do with a place in Oregon. So you have like Stevie, her sister Carly. They have like 2 brothers. Stevie moves back home. She was in LAPD, but she moves back home because her father was a police chief, but he passed away. So of course she joins the force there. Somebody else was promoted to police chief that was a family friend, but also an officer, but then he winds up going missing. So they promote this dude named Zane to police chief. Of course, Zane is a he, sorry. Zane and Stevie, that love story develops. But as the books and series goes on, of course, each series and each book deal with different things as far as like the mystery thriller thing going on. You got the first one that deals with like this new drug that hits the street. Like the first series that hits the street, they're trying to figure out where it comes from. Also, Carly is a CPS, and her husband, or they separated, Seth, he's in law enforcement too. And they're separated right now just because Seth is like, it's like, you knew this was what Carly wanted to do. This is what she's been doing. She loved kids, loved to show her to make sure that they're safe. Of course, her job could be a little bit dangerous because, of course, some parents feel like their kids shouldn't be taken from them. But it's like you're trying to tell her what to do, and it's like, that's not going to work for her because she's a strong-minded woman, and she's going to do what she want to do. But eventually, in the long, long story, at the end of the series, they wind up getting it together. But also in the first series, their mom has this feeling. And one thing about her, in her feelings, like when she feels something, she's usually is on the nose with that, okay? So she felt like her husband, their father's death was actually a murder. And child, when you find out, if you like me, you gonna be like, you dirty bitch. You dirty bitch. Another one had to do with like their brother Bruce, his girlfriend was murdered. And child, it's like you already suspect one person, but the other person, I didn't suspect that. Child, so that was good. The next one I think had to deal with like this TV star. He came from out of town, which him and his brother and his homeboys, and come to find out the little boy is his son. They always try to get away from all the hustle and bustle, try to go somewhere quiet. But he ends up, dead, okay? And as the 2 books go on, you already kind of have a feeling like who did it. But honey, there's a plot twist in there, and you like, oh, you in on it too? Child, I can't give y'all everything because honey, I'm telling y'all, listen. And then last but not least, the last series has to do with like a young boy that was found chained up in a basement. And they only found him because of course, another murder happened. And he's like the key to this code or something that's needed. But child, when you think the person that's supposed to be there to save him or protect him is actually going to hurt him, all of these books in this Rogue series are good. I love how the characters develop over time. Just a dang on good book. Now, also what I'm reading right now is The Merry Little Meet Cute, and I'm also reading 1,000 Boy Kisses. So I will update y'all on those. Hopefully next time I won't have this big of selection to keep y'all reviewed on. But if you stuck around this long, or you had to take a break and come back, no matter what, I appreciate you and I love you dearly. So kisses to all y'all beautiful people. Like I said, I will keep y'all updated. And y'all can also follow me on my socials as I do my book reviews. So I love y'all very much. Thank you so much. It's going to be a wonderful 2023. I just know it. So make sure to love on yourself, love on your loved ones, take care of your health, and be aware of your surroundings. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.